Right back at you with another live lesson. All right. It's a lot of things, what I'm saying, going on in America right now. We in the last days, man. Like I said, the Passover just went by. All right, April 1st, right into April 8th. Okay. And I'm just out here just, just out here just speaking, what I'm saying, because, it's a lot of tests right, and it's a lot of things happening in the world. All right, with Russia, Iran, all right, North Korea. All right, it's a lot of things happening around the world right now, you know, and I just want to speak on, a couple things, all right, that I see, what I'm saying, in the spirit, all right. It's a lot of things coming down the pipeline right now, all right, and great judgment is near, okay, what I'm saying, and last year I had a dream, all right, of what they call UFOs, all right, which is chariots of the Lord, all right, coming to beam, all right, the elect, all right, the chosen ones, all right, that make up the 144,000, all right, of the nation of Israel, all right, 12 tribes of Israel, all right, I seen it in my dream, okay, and this was like, what I'm saying, going into 2025, going into 2026, all right, and the dream was basically like, a time of war, okay? And all hell was breaking loose, all right? All chaos was breaking loose in the midst of Babylon, in the midst of America, okay? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was fighting, okay, fighting each other, okay? A lot of people was going at each other, okay? And in my dream, all right, the sky was like completely black, all right? It was completely dark, okay? All right, and what I seen was I seen a pool of blood, okay, in my dream. All right, it was red blood in my dream, okay, and as I'm looking around, all right, I'm seeing everybody, all right, at war with each other, okay. What I'm saying, this person attacking this person, all right, and I see the military in my dream, all right, and they're capturing people, all right, they're gunning down people, all right, but the thing about it was, all right, I actually seen myself in this dream, okay? And I don't know what it's supposed to mean because I had multiple dreams and multiple visions about, the things that the Lord have showed me, okay, what's going to happen in this world, all right? And in my dream, basically, all right, the chariots flew over everybody, while all hell was breaking loose. And I end up, what I'm saying, getting beamed up, all right? And as I get beamed up, okay, I end up getting like closer to about to be like, being put in the ship. And for some odd reason in my dream, right, I could see myself like, I don't know how you could put it, but I mean, basically like I seen like an empty vessel, right? Basically like my soul was like taken out of my body, okay? And I seen like dark eyes, all right, in my shell, okay. Basically, like it was no life in me, like the life got taken up out of me, as I'm getting beamed up in the chariot, all right. And another thing, as this is happening, okay, it's very dark outside, dark and gloomy, okay. Everybody's at war, okay. Everybody's fighting each other, all right. And it's chaos, like mad chaos. You know what I'm saying? And I see a fleet of chariots just flying over. Okay, and as I as I get ready to get into the ship, this is the part that kind of like throw me off a little bit. But I'm just speaking on it. But as I'm getting beamed up in the chariot, okay, I end up getting put back in my body. All right, for some odd reason. All right, as if like the Lord wants me to be on ground, right? And when I got put back in my body, I was changed. For some reason I was changed. I was not the same person. Okay. And I don't know what that's supposed to mean, what I'm saying, completely fully, but I've had a couple of visions about myself. I have visions about myself flying. I have had visions about myself levitating, you know. Um, it's a battle, okay, within this flesh. All right, we fighting on a daily, all right, in Babylon. All right, it's a lot going on in the midst of Israel right now. And just having those dreams, man, has me, thinking about all the marvelous works that the Lord is gonna do. All right, to a lot of brothers and a lot of people that's believers, man, that's actually like fighting off this flesh, man, and really putting off this flesh and to try to like really focus on him, like sacrificing themselves to focus on the Lord, man. Okay. Because at the end of the day, the Lord is our weapon, okay? And it's our battle axe. You know, going into the trials and tribulations that we face on a daily, whether it be incarceration, whether it be Edomites, you know, attacking us in the spirit, okay, whether it be Satan attacking us in the spirit, all right, brothers gotta keep a level head, you know what I'm saying, and fight themselves, okay, because this is a spiritual war, this is a spiritual battle, and nobody is perfect, you know what I'm saying, but like I say, the scriptures say, "He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved." All right, and you know, I've lost siblings already in this fight. I lost my granddaddy, and I lost my cousin. It's a lot of things that I've seen. All right, on this journey, the Lord will test you. All right, to see how strong you can stay on this path of 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 the light. Okay, He will throw things your way. He will break you down. He will build you back up. Things will come your way to make you feel like you're not worthy, but at the same time, you know yourself. You got to pick yourself up. You know your spirit. You know who you are, and you know who you are in spirit. So hey, the time is near, brothers. I mean, whatever we going through, you know, having to survive, having to work, having to slave. You know what I'm saying, to pay bills, to take care of kids, or however we doing it to maintain it's through the spirit of the Lord. To keeping us here, to keeping us with the breath of life. And this place is not gonna last forever. This place is going down very soon. I could feel it in my spirit. I could feel it in my bones. And I'm ready. I'm 100% ready to be. With other siblings, and I'm ready to be out of this world, man. But until then, I gotta endure. You know, I gotta go through the fiery trials as gold is tried in the fire. And I just martial law is definitely going to be declared in America. Okay, real soon. It's definitely going to be declared in America, and Babylon is going to go down with a great, 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 great vengeance from the Lord. Okay, because this place is the place of just wickedness. And the Lord is basically going to come, as a thief in the night for real, because brothers could be at work, brothers could be anywhere in the world when the Lord come and the Lord show up. That's why he say put not off day to day, okay? Because you never know when he's gonna come or when he's gonna crack them skies, and show up, and all 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 terrible things is gonna happen to this place of America, man, because it's built on bloodshed, racism, what I'm saying, captivity, slavery. It's gonna go down on the same thing, all right? And then at the end of the day, our people gotta repent and start falling a victim into what's going on, because this is the time of the Lord's judgment, man. It's gonna come upon the entire world, okay? And I just want to say we getting closer and closer to, all right, that time, man, because that dream that I had, it's like every other year I have the Lord send me a vision, okay, about something that's about to occur. But the vision about the chariots coming to beam, all right, brothers and sisters up, all right, that is very, 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 very near. And that was clear in my dream. So if you got doubts, don't doubt anything, because the Lord is coming. He's coming. All right, he's already here, but he's definitely gonna come beam brothers and sisters up. All right, in these last days, and them chariots are very powerful. They can do what the Lord commanded them to do. What I'm saying? Those are angels, all right? But they're the Lord's workers, they're the Lord's helpers, okay? And if you're not right, you know, hey, the Lord favor who He favors. But if you're not 100% right, you gotta be careful. Walking in His flesh because you know you might think you're going to make it, and then the Lord might, He might send you back. What I'm saying, to be destroyed. But or He can send you back to fight in a war. You know, all right. But at the end of the day, we got to keep the faith, brothers and sisters. And right now, I just know that it's time to pour out 100,000% into this ministry and to this truth, and don't put it off day to day, because this is a sacrifice that we was put on this earth to do as children of the Lord and vessels and warriors of the Most High. Okay, and yeah, I just had to come by and get by this body of water, man, because you know it's smoothing to the spirit after the Lord's Passover, and you get into Him with nature, just to get away from everything. I just thought I'd go live and let you brothers, what I'm saying, get a chance to see, all right, the body of water that I'm around right now, all right, as you can see, because it's not gonna be too many times we get a chance to see, all right, beautiful sights and things like this, all right. But yeah, for the brothers that's doubting or is getting weary, and we're getting closer and closer to the kingdom, man. So this is not the time to check out. It's time to pick up your sword. It's time to kick off anything that's holding you back. This is the time to leave, certain wicked women alone. This is the time to, what I'm saying, put your family problems and all that to the side. This is the time for you to solidify your lot and focus on, all right, doing the work of the Lord and focusing on your mission, okay? And until your last breath is out of your body, I would say stay focused on your how by Shim Shah, all right, because the chariots of the Lord and um salvation is near, okay, all right. And those chariots that was in my dream, all right, they're coming as warriors. They're not coming to play no games. They're coming as warriors. They're gonna take down a lot of you know um military forces, things that's gonna be coming up against it. It's gonna be very, 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 very not good for the so-called Edomites, okay? And also for the brothers and sisters that believe, it's gonna be very beautiful to see that time, because that's gonna be the time where He's gonna show His great wonders and His great power, okay, through the midst of those chariots, to get us beamed up in those chariots, all right, to get us free from out of this captivity, man. Okay, so I just want to say, call Allah Yahweh by Shemi Awashai. All right, the chariots of the Lord, all right, are very near. Okay, I had a vision about them. I had a dream about them, and like I said, it will be war in the land. It will be bloodshed, but the chariots of the Lord are definitely coming. Okay, because I had this dream about you know a lot of people getting beamed up, and I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but I just gotta what I'm saying, do what I gotta do. All right, because the Lord have given me double visions about me, what I'm saying, having spiritual power, and then also, what I'm saying, going through the war, what I'm saying, with the people. So, don't be double minded, and understand, like, the Lord be watching everything we doing, and He's coming. He's definitely coming with those chariots. And I just wanted to say, call Allah Yahweh by Shemal Shah. I'm so thankful that I do know this truth, and just trying my best to get back 100% correct. Hope you brothers do the same, and salvation is near. Till the next time, I say shalom.